Well, a journey that started last year when Paramount made its first unsolicited bid for $19 a share to buy Warner Brothers, of course, got to the stage where Paramount won the bidding process with a $31 per share bid that knocked out Netflix. But the big thing that needed to be cleared, there are others, but was that the actual owners of Warner Brothers had to approve the sale. That is, of course, the shareholders. Well, today was that day. The shareholders voted today on whether or not they were willing to sell their shares for $31 a share to Paramount and allow Paramount to take over Warner Brothers. And as is reported here in Variety, the Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders overwhelmingly approved the Paramount mega deal. Now, it says here in the headline, but vote against the exit pay package for Zaslav and other execs. Let me touch on that second part here first, before we get into the shareholders voting to approve the Paramount deal. I had a lot of people writing to me today going, John, did you hear the shareholders voted against David Zaslav's pay package? Blah, blah, blah. Guys, listen, make sure you spread the word of this. It doesn't mean anything. David Zaslav is still getting that pay package. The shareholders actually have no authority to approve pay packages. Shareholders do not have any direct control on the day-to-day operations of a company. The shareholders really only have two jobs. One, vote in the board to represent them and to run the company. And two, vote to whether or not to sell the company. That's it. Shareholders really don't, for any real things, they don't have any other things. As the Variety article itself points out, the shareholders voting against the pay package is really just symbolic. The board of governors has already approved the pay package. He's getting that pay package. So are the other executives. This same thing, Rob, you might remember, happened a bunch of years ago when the Disney shareholders voted against Bob Iger's pay package. Didn't matter. He still got his pay package. So that part is an absolute non-story. Absolute non-story. He's getting his pay package. Doesn't matter what the shareholders voted. But now let's get to the main thing. The shareholders selling their shares have agreed to sell their shares for $31 a share. Now, it needs to be noted that this is not the final hurdle. Listen, there are still some issues that I don't think are going to stop it, but the possibility exists that they could. I know there are some branches of the government that are looking into and are very concerned about the fact that there is Middle Eastern money that's going to be used in buying the company. That could prove to be problematic for them. I know there are some state attorney general's offices that are looking into it. And I did a video on this before. Even if the federal government approves it, state attorney generals could block it. I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying there are still a couple of hurdles that they need to overcome. But this was the big one. Like, this was the one, the shareholders, the owners of the company saying, yes, we agree to sell. Now, look, I'm going to cheer for this company to succeed, but I have been against this merger. I'm still against the merger. If it happens, it happens, and I'll get on board. But I am against this merger. But I've had zero doubt that the shareholders were going to approve it. And since they did, I've seen some really stupid people. And I mean that with love. Saying stuff like, the shareholders are being greedy. Guys, look, as somebody who is against this merger, can we just operate in reality for a second? Anybody who listen to the word, invest. There is only one purpose for investing in something. You're hoping to make a profit. That's all investing is. You buy stocks in something for only one purpose, to hopefully profit from buying those stocks. People who own shares in Tesla don't care about car driving technology any more than it affects their profitability. People who buy stock in, I don't know, Kroger's or whatever a big chain is.
I like groceries.
Yeah, I like groceries. Yeah, but they only invest to make profit. Shareholders are not really interested in the movie making business. Shareholders are just investors who buy stock in something that they hope will be profitable. And when they bought stock, and probably most of them did, when David Zaslav first took over this company and it was like $6, $7 a share, to have Paramount come in and make an offer over market value. Paramount is way overpaying. And remember, Variety did this article yesterday pointing out that one of the reasons David Zaslav couldn't stop the sale is because he could not make an argument to the board or to the shareholders that Warner Brothers on its own could get to $31 a share in the next 5 to 10 years. If he could have made that argument, he could have stopped this from getting sold, but he couldn't. So if you're a shareholder and you get offered triple, quadruple, 5 times, 6 times your money, investors have one job: profit. That's the only job of an investor. It's different from a board member. It's different from a CEO. It's different from a president. As a shareholder, the only reason you're in it is to hopefully profit. And somebody comes along and offers you triple your investment, quadruple your investment, you're going to take it.
Yeah.
It's not, and quite honestly, nothing else is any of your business. As an investor, nothing else is your business. You don't really care. I had somebody in the live chat earlier say, well, some shareholders try to force change on a company. Yes, but the only time shareholders try to force change on a company is when they think it will make them more money if the company makes that change. That's the only time that happens. So listen, I think there's a lot of blame to go around for the situation that we're in. I don't think any of the blame is on the shareholders. The shareholders are just doing what shareholders do. You buy stock at a certain price, and if you can sell it for a higher price, you sell it. Period. That's it. End of story. I have some opinions about David Ellison. I have some opinions about how they're financing this. I have some questions about how this whole thing came together, but none of it is the shareholders' fault.
No.
It just is what it is. So anyway, the shareholders have voted to let it go through. Now, if it's going to be stopped, it has to be regulatory if this is going to be stopped. You know, the theater organization that represents all the movie theaters, Cinema United, they were trying to fight it, but then AMC's Adam Aron, the CEO, completely backstabbed and double-crossed his own industry and everybody else in it. So that's not going to work now. So again, it's still possible this thing doesn't happen, but I think we're going to have to, Rob, I think we're going to have to just start getting used to the idea of Warner Brothers disappearing or becoming Paramount Warner Brothers or whatever it's going to do. I think we're just going to have to start getting ourselves ready for that reality and hope that it works. But yeah, guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Hims. I know a lot of us have weight loss goals, but actually hitting them, that's the hard part. Hims now offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill at its lowest price ever and the Wegovy pen. And when combined with diet and exercise, Wegovy can help you lose up to 20% or more of your body weight by helping regulate your appetite so you eat less. You connect with a licensed provider who determines if treatment is right for you, and if prescribed, your medication gets delivered straight to your door, no insurance needed. Plus, you get 24/7 access to your care team and in-app support like meal plans, recipes, fitness videos, and more. Ready to reach your goals? Visit hims.com/Campea to get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Campea. hims.com/Campea. Based on advertised cash price for a 30-day supply of medication only. Membership required, fee not included, and billed separately. Weight loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information and restrictions, visit hims.com. Anyway, Rob, you read this. Any surprise? Any shock? What do you think?
No, I'm not surprised and I'm not shocked. I mean, late stage capitalism is only about profit, profit, profit. And I understand that. Like, that's what Milton Friedman said. But at the end of the day, do we want to live in that kind of a world where everything is only motivated by profit? I would say this. I mean, one of the things that never factors into anything these days is also a quality of life issue. Now, as you know, we talk about on this show our favorite things, movies and movie news, TV and streaming, right? Well, this is the epicenter of that. And we are discussing here, is our world better off with Warner Brothers, one of the oldest, most venerable studios in the world that's doing very well, that has a great legacy? Is it better off being controlled by the Ellisons? My problem, and for all intents and purposes, I think that David Ellison loves movies. He wants to be in the movie business. But also, there's other motives that are driving this. Like, for instance, the control of media outlets, the control of our news based on certain political ideologies. Is that something that's good?
I don't think that was a big motivation here.
But I do. I think it's certainly some of that.
Because you and I talked about before, they could have literally just waited for David Zaslav to spin off CNN and bought it for $1 billion instead of $110 billion.
And of course, you know, if they're getting Saudi money, I mean, I just don't. I'm not saying that there's something necessarily nefarious here, but look, since Disney purchased 20th Century Fox, it's not like Disney has maximized the 20th Century Fox library. Sure, they've made another a Planet of the Apes movie or a Predator movie, but their back catalog, they've done nothing with. Like, even putting out, they've done, to be fair, they've done new versions of like Kingdom of Heaven and Master and Commander and put those things out. But, you know, Warner Brothers has an incredible library, and I understand what Paramount wants is that IP. They want Harry Potter. Well, now it looks like they're going to get it. And I totally get that. And our friend from Paramount explained that to me. Look at all that IP that we're going to now control. And I get all that. I just don't know if they are the best stewards for that IP. I mean,
no, it's not. They're not.
And
they're not the best stewards. That's why I'm against this.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I think that you need people. Look, they don't even have. They've been making Star Trek. Why is there no executive that oversees only Star Trek? You've got Lucasfilm. You've got Marvel. You know, and I don't think that Paramount, especially over the last 20 years, has necessarily been the best steward of their own IP. And so it's interesting to see what they're going to do now. I mean, I think that Warner Brothers and Paramount, you know, coming together, I don't think that the Fox-Disney merger has shown that Disney has the best interests of all the IP that they acquired. Have they been the best stewards of it all? I mean, Star Wars and Lucasfilm, I know Lucasfilm was a separate thing, but have they been? Have they? I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think these big mergers are necessarily good for audiences and getting the best movies that we should get. I just don't.
No. But, you know, it's part of the reality we live in.
I know.
People might start singing a different tune now that we're getting X-Men in the MCU. But, I mean, yeah, it is. By the way, I've seen some comments in the live chat. There seems to be this perception that the shareholders are like these 20 people. Do you know how many individual people own shares in Warner Brothers Discovery? Anybody want to take a guess? The best estimations are, because it changes daily.
Yeah.
Daily it changes. But at minimum, there are 500,000 people who own at least some degree of Warner Brothers Discovery.
Get those people on the phone right now.
Up to 5 million people.
Yeah, right.
Own,
on days of high volume, yeah.
One share, 10,000 shares, 50,000 shares. There's over 500,000 shareholders. Mm-hmm. Like anywhere between 500,000 to 5 million shareholders. So it's not like it's like some small little group of people. This is just people who bought stock in Warner Brothers at $7 and now get to sell it at $31. That's all it is. I mean, it's all it is. It just sucks that it's come to this. I never would have thought I would ever say the words, man, I really wish Netflix was taking over Warner Brothers. But anyway.
And the funny thing is that, you know, Warner Brothers shareholders don't necessarily care at all about movies or TV. Investors are investing in companies. They're not investing because I love the movie business. They're looking for an opportunity to make money, like you pointed out.
Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only reason anybody buys stock is to make money. And so this is a bad thing, but it's not a situation that was created by the shareholders.
No.
At all. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The Warner Brothers Discovery owners, the shareholders, have approved the sale to Paramount. Now, that does not mean it's a done deal. It probably will all go through, but there are a few other hiccups that could come along, and I'm sure we'll cover those in the coming months. There's still months and months and months away from this getting finalized. So this is not a done deal. Paramount does not own Warner Brothers as of today. So we'll keep covering this to see how this thing all goes. Anyway, guys, what do you think about all this? Jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.